don't scare us. I get up, I go hard like I'm George Harris. Make plays, break lanes, push weight, break chains, go hard, kick ass, take names. Being good, I'ma be great. I'm gonna carry that weight. Earn my stripes, my merits. I gotta go hard like I'm George Harris. Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of Fight Night Flashbacks with my right-hand man here. You know him from the Sing, from King to Sting, the Wing and the Sing. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Did
whoa,
you like that?
whoa, whoa,
whoa, whoa.
It's whoa, whoa, whoa.
I
Okay.
know my
Whoa, whoa, that's old school R&B.
got-
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yes. I'm old school, man. It's Erik Griffin here. And on today's episode, I am going to take you through the legendary career of Amanda Nunes. She is, by most regards, the best female fighter of all time.
Wow.
And I'm going to show you why.
Well, you know, the other night we were watching on the Fight Companion.
Yeah.
I've never watched a full female fighting, and I've said to you before on other podcasts where I was like, I'm really not into this, but because of doing this and talking to you and talking to fans now, I have a whole new appreciation for this. But it's still tough though when I see the women, and that fight was that was the most brutal fight I've ever seen.
That was a tough one for you to watch your first female fight.
That was the most brutal fight I've ever seen, and now I have a little bit more appreciation in the sense of like the chess match that goes on in these fights. So it was very fascinating, but still very brutal.
But you'll see, too, why Amanda Nunes, because the girl that you saw her fight, that was a rematch against Juliana Pena. And Juliana Pena, even though she won the first fight, she surprised her as one of the, I think, third or fourth biggest upset, according to the odds makers in UFC history. But even coming into the fight that we watched on the last one on the Calabas Fight Companion, Amanda Nunes was still the favorite. So,
and I see why.
You're going to see why.
I saw why in that fight. But
that one you definitely saw.
Yeah.
But you're going to see why, like, leading up to that, why she is the baddest on the planet.
And why it was such an upset when Pena beat her.
Correct. Big deal.
Got it.
But we're going to kick this off. This is the legendary UFC 200. Now, you're going to notice that the octagon is PP yellow. And they decided to do a special, thing for UFC 200. And it didn't UFC 100 was insane. I was there. UFC 200, so every 100 they try to blow it out.
Right.
This one was tough. The UFC, there's supposed to be DC and John Jones on there. John Jones had some issues, so then DC ended up fighting Anderson Silva. So then they're the main event. The whole thing was kind of a shit show, starting with this mat. But
why? What's wrong with the yellow mat?
It's just not what they do, and they want to make it special. It was just on TV. You'll see. It just doesn't look cool.
I got you.
It was too much. But so she's fighting a girl here named Miesha Tate. Now, Miesha Tate, top 4 or 5 female fighters of all time. She's very famous. She retired, and now she's back in the UFC. She went to go work for one championship. Her nickname's Cupcake. She was a champion in Strikeforce. She, her and Ronda have a history together, but she's definitely one of the most popular fighters to ever come out of the UFC. Sure as hell for female. And then, she checks all the boxes. She's skilled, and then she's also really pretty.
Okay, and what's her specialty?
Grappling. And
so going into this fight, is that what she was trying to do?
Yep. Hit it.
Yeah.
You'll see.
And all this damn advertisement on the mat is just
like an
too much. Jesus.
Well, what they did with the UFC back then with the Reebok deal, they went, hey, let's take all the money from the fighters and just put it on the mat.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. But, Miesha Tate, she's not a bad striker, but her specialty is jiu-jitsu. Like, her jiu-jitsu is pretty filthy.
Ooh, looks like she's got a good punch.
Yeah, she is, And she's also, especially now, I would say she's a bigger name than Amanda Nunes at this point. Because Miesha Tate right now, she's currently the champ, right? So she's the champ right now. It's UFC 200. And this started the freaking destruction path of Amanda Nunes. Once she
This is her first big fight?
Yeah, that's how she got the belt.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So this other woman was the champ already?
Yep. And Miesha Tate was a big deal.
Ooh.
Big deal.
That seems to happen a lot in UFC with women.
Meaning, what do you mean?
Like there's somebody who's a big deal and then she just gets demolished.
Sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes. I mean.
Because I haven't heard of her.
Yeah.
Like just casual, I'm saying.
See, that's a good takedown.
Yeah, that's what she's trying to do, right?
Filthy, yeah. And she trains out of Spokane, Washington.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Spokane.
She went to Spokane Comedy
Club.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
Amanda just hits like a truck.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
My God, man. She probably got in a lot of trouble when she was a kid in the principal's office all the time.
In Brazil?
Yeah.
Or is it?
Yeah.
They celebrate in Brazil? You know what I'm saying? Is it,
Imagine you get a call, your daughter beat up like 2 or 3 people.
yeah, you just come home.
She didn't just start fighting.
Like,
You know what I mean?
I got, like my son would come home with like a gold crown made out of paper. Like, oh, I got classmate of the day, and she comes home like, I got classmate of the day. What'd you do? Beat some girl's ass?
Yeah. I bet she was beating up boys when she was a kid. Oh, that's
Almost an illegal shot because you're not allowed to knee a down opponent there.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was iffy, but they're letting it roll. But you can tell Miesha's slowing down, starting to get lit up on the feet.
Slowing down. I think that I've been watching since that one good punch. She
Yes.
hasn't been the same.
But you'll see when Amanda Nunes lands, you're going to see the 4 fights you watch. When she lands, she has to be the hardest hitting female fighter of all time. Because she lands, these girls aren't the same.
Oh, yeah, this is it. No, this girl hasn't been the same. It's over.
The one heart, yeah, look at her.
Yeah, look at she's
just
like
hits so hard, man.
but she's already she look at this. Oh, the fear. Oof, man, I totally get this.
And that's the thing with Amanda Nunes. She hits you. Look at
Oh,
this.
yeah,
She
it's
hits
done.
hard,
Oh
bro.
my God, stop it.
But you'll see it's a common theme with all these fights. She hits, they're never the same. Like, it's not Snowflake. That's not Snowflake. You know what I'm saying? She's just whooping their ass.
Yeah,
And now Amanda Nunes also, at this current time, she's training out of ATT, which is one of the biggest training camps in the world. They have phenomenal fighters out of there, and some of the best of all time.
I mean, to me, they should have stopped this fight already.
Correct.
This other chick is done. She stopped fighting like 45 seconds ago. She was
getting
out.
lit up.
Yeah.
So you know the fight we watched with Juliana Pena. Amanda Nunes said, "No, I could have finished that. I just wanted to show that I was better in every single facet and wanted to prove it." Like, she goes, "I could have finished
Man,
any round."
that's
Like,
tough.
God.
Yeah, damn, that's tough. Because that actually also takes away from she's at tap out.
I mean that.
You know what? I don't. Ooh, man, that's something else because hearing that because everyone was saying, man, Pena really survived that. Like what respect you got for that, and for her to say that, it takes that all away.
Oh, she was like, "They're giving compliments."
Yeah,
Let me take that away.
Yeah, man.
So now that I
that's
just told
tough.
you guys that I allowed her to go on.
Yeah.
How do you feel now? How do you like it now?
She almost shouldn't have done that.
But so she becomes champion here. She's out of ATT, becomes champion, and then just goes on this reign. And then
Dude,
I would say before this, if you ask anybody, even with this fight, hey, she's gonna be the greatest female fighter of all time, you're like, get out of here, bro. But then she goes on this freaking destruction path.
Well, listen, man. If she just demolished that girl.
That girl's good. She was a champ.
Listen, I'm looking
Look at
at
this.
her for the first time.
Boom!
This is when it was done. That punch.
That's when
when
you were
it was
like,
done.
yeah, she changed.
Look at her. That she was fighting with fear after that. Look at this. Just her whole demeanor was like, okay, stop hitting me. Okay, you won.
Yeah, she's just outclassed.
Don't be a bitch. Stop it.
But what's interesting about Amanda Nunes, you're going to see a change of guard. How you were saying, like, these big names and they get beat the fuck up.
Yeah.
You're going to see with Amanda Nunes, she's the one that does that because, right, Miesha Tate, old school, kind of changing the guard. Then she fights Ronda Rousey. Again, old school, changing the guard. Holly Holm, old school, changing the guard. So she's beating these big names.
So at what point did she beat Ronda Rousey? Is it after Holly Holmes beat her?
Yeah, so that fight's interesting. Is that what's next, Mike? So the one against Ronda Rousey is interesting because don't play it yet, Mike. This one's interesting because Ronda loses to Holly Holm, which shocks the world, right?
Yeah.
One of the biggest upsets of all time.
Were you shocked?
I was very shocked. I was very close to Ronda at the time. I was very, very shocked.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. I think anybody that was around her knew that her striking was a liability and that Holly Holm had a lot more experience and could do that to her. But I don't think anybody was going to be like, yeah, she's going to get straight up KO'd with a head kick like that.
Okay, as a novice or just somebody that just knows nothing about this, when I saw them in the rings next to each other, I said, "Oh, that big girl is gonna beat that little girl up."
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair. It's just looking at it. But I think anybody that were like that wasn't really into it, you kind of just heard this person's name. It was like Ronda Rousey's like Mike Tyson. That's how they sold it.
And that's what fucked her because a lot of people in the UFC community, Dana White, a lot of big names, commentators were like, she's like Mike Tyson, and it's like. I mean, everyone like, no, she's not. No, what? But then she started listening to that. And
Well,
then
I
when
mean-
your bread and butter is submission, your armbar and your submission game, but you're being told you're Mike Tyson, like, I'm going to knock girls out. It's like, what? And then eventually you're going to run into somebody where your striking is nowhere near their level, like Holly Holm. Here's what's interesting about Holly Holm before we watch this Ronda Rousey Amanda Nunes fight. Holly Holm, previously before the UFC, was a multiple-time world champion kickboxer. When she got to the UFC, she was with Greg Jackson's camp. And you'll see she's fighting these girls, but she could take them out earlier, but the entire how badass is this? Her entire career when she got in the UFC was to beat Ronda Rousey. Every fight she would game plan like it was Ronda Rousey. So she'd work on something so when she finally got to Ronda, it would help her beat Ronda.
Well, she
The
beat
footwork, it worked. Insane.
Sure did.
So this
Sure did.
is Ronda versus
So this is for her. She already had her first loss.
first loss, long layoff, and here's the red flags. You know,
This ended her career.
oh yeah.
Okay.
So the UFC, Ronda was their cash cow, was the face of the UFC. You know, basically the Hoist Gracie of female fighting. Like, she's one of the biggest stars to ever do it. Kudos to her. She was always really good with the media and stuff like that. The first red flag for everybody should have been is Dana went, Ronda's not going to do any press leading up to the fight. Like, wait, what? That's never happened ever in the history of fighting, ever.
Yeah, that doesn't make any
He
sense.
goes, she's not going to do any press. You're like, well, that's weird. What's going on here?
It does feel weird.
So that lets you know, like, mentally she wasn't there. Let's take a little break from chatting with my boy Erik Griffin, just filling him in, educating him on Amanda Nunes, the greatest female fighter of all time. And she's putting a lot of people to sleep, and hopefully they're getting good sleep with these knockouts, because I get great sleep with Helix mattresses. That's right. Every bed in my household is Helix mattresses. I can't get rid of my in-laws. My family wants to stay with me all the time. I'm like, oh, it's because I'm a nice guy. Nope. It's because they love Helix mattresses. Helix mattress, listen, they're built for you. Not your average Joe mattress, not a mattress built for everybody. You take a quiz. It takes 2 minutes to complete. Then they match you with your thick body with the perfect mattress built just for you. Not for every Joe Schmo, built for you. If you like mattresses that are really soft, firm, you sleep on your side, your back guy, you sleep really hot, really cold, whatever, Helix got you covered, man. Your unique taste will be covered with Helix mattresses. You don't need to take my word for it. Helix was awarded the #1 best overall mattress of 2019-2020 by GQ and Wired magazine. Just go to helixsleep.com/Schaub, SCHAUB. Take their 2-minute sleep quiz. They'll match you with a customized mattress that will give you the best sleep of your life. They have a 10-year warranty. You can try it out 100 nights risk-free. They'll even pick it up if you don't love it, but you will. Again, that's Helix. All right? Helix is offering you guys up to 200 buckaroos off all mattress orders and free pillows for the listeners and viewers of this show, Fight Night Flashback with Erik Griffin and myself, and this one's featuring Amanda Nunes. All you got to do is go to helixsleep.com/Schaub, SCHAUB. That's Helix, HELIX, sleep.com/Schaub for 200 buckaroos off. Hit it. And there couldn't be a worse fight. You're throwing chum in the water to a goddamn Brazilian female great white shark. Yeah. Because look at Amanda Nunes. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're not even
Doesn't touch gloves, you know?
Well, okay.
Yeah, this one's bad, dude. She just hits like a Mack truck. But then, your coaches are telling you, Mike Tyson, look at her. You're just getting lit up, dude. And the shame about this is, Ronda was a pioneer. Oh my God, Ronda was a pioneer of the sport and like such a legend. And it's just like for this to be your last outing, it's just not. I don't think she went down like this.
Yeah, again,
It's not even a fight, bro.
Again, I was about to say after that first punch, it's already done.
Yeah,
She hit her. And her whole demeanor is like, okay, that's it. I'm out. Get me out of here.
But the game evolves fast. Remember, Hoist Gracie was able to do it for a while.
Oh,
Look at
that's
this.
it. That's it. That's it. That's it.
I mean, Amanda Nunes didn't get. That's the easiest payday she's ever had, dude.
And this is it for her. She's
That's
like,
it. Yeah, Ronda's out. Now, there's talk that Ronda's going to fight Gina Carano. They talked about it. They're both older. It's the one fight that I think Gina would come out for. It's one fight that Ronda would come out for. But at this point, they're both older.
Why?
Ronda's a mom. It's like, what are we doing? But I guess you could do it.
So she had a chip on. Look at it. She still got a chip on her shoulder.
No one gave her a chance. Even then, no one gave her a chance. Even after watching the Holly Holm fight, people, kind of just was like, we'll see. But, for Ronda, it's tough
She
to
comes
see.
let her know, hey, next time shake my hand.
Yeah. This ain't better touch my goddamn glove. Look at this. Right here. Boom. She's like,
that's
holy
it.
shit.
That's it. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Is that
Wow, she got like
Francis
4.
Ngannou?
She got like 4. Look at her face. She's just like, this is,
Boom.
Something I notice about this is there's moments in these fights that all these fights I've watched now with you, there are moments in these fights where the fight's done. The other person is like, I am overmatched. I'm talking about the men's and the women's.
Oh, yeah.
That they just go, wow, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get out of this. And I think they're waiting for the fight to end as opposed to trying to win anymore. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. The problem is, and it's tough as a referee. Herb Dean was stopping that.
God.
And he did the right.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
he was like,
no,
bad,
man.
bad,
Oh
bad,
my
bad,
God.
bad. Yeah.
Oh man.
Just
Yeah.
free shots.
Yeah. You got to stop this.
Yeah, she's out. Yeah, it's such a shame, man.
Oh, right there. She looks
Look
like.
at the coach. Like, how could they stop that? That's the problem.
She looked like Elliot Page right there for a second.
Little bit.
Right?
You talking about now?
Yeah, now.
Okay, good. Yeah. It's confusing. That
was tough.
So this next one, I think, all the wins are big leading up to it. But this one, to me, solidified her being the greatest female champion of all time, or basically the best female fighter of all time. So this is actually at a featherweight. This is at 145. So you think about it, there's not a lot. Think about it, 145-pound girl, professional fighter. There's not a lot of fighters at that weight. But the one who is
Probably a lot of girls at that weight, but they're just not professional fighters.
correct, especially now. Yeah, body positive. Anyways, but the one thing at 145 is this Brazilian demon named Cris Cyborg, who fought in Strikeforce, fought in Bellator. She came over to the UFC finally.
Wait, what's Strikeforce again? That's the Europe?
Strikeforce used to be a big-time American organization. Then the UFC bought them
then
took all the talented roster and just put them into the UFC.
Oh, well, gotcha.
They folded the business and just brought all their talent to the UFC.
It's like
there's a lot of talent.
Like how there used to be an ABA and an NBA, then they combined.
Correct.
Gotcha.
So, and from Strikeforce, you had Ronda came out of there, Robbie Lawler, DC, Miesha Tate, Woodley, Masvidal was there. You have a lot of people. Kimbo Slice,
and it didn't make any sense for the sport to have a lot of different leagues. Is that,
no,
what do you think?
I mean the knock on the UFC is they're a monopoly, right? So you can't have any other competition. But also,
but so is the NBA, so is the NFL.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with them. I'm not mad.
I mean, that's what you want to have all the best talent be in the same place.
The UFC also did it with Pride, which Pride was like. For the real fight heads.
Was it gay fighters? Is that?
I didn't even think of that. Dude, yeah, Pride was really big.
Come here, bitch.
Yeah. Bring it, bitch. You better not have monkeypox. But Pride was like a big organization in Asia, like the biggest. And some of the most historic fighters came out of there. UFC bought them and then folded them. And, so it's business. I get it. Conquer.
But, I mean, I think that for a sports organization – I think that they should find a way where, like, I guess there's camps within the organization, like franchises, but they're all under the UFC umbrella. So when you get a champ, it's like the people's champ.
Correct.
You know what
That's
I mean?
the problem with boxing.
Yeah.
WCB, WBO, all that bullshit. You're like, wait, what?
I think the problem with all this fighting is, in my opinion, that there should be a season, and you know when it's coming. We should all know the leaderboards. We should all know who should be facing who.
Yeah, PFL does that where they have seasons and tournaments, but with the UFC, it's just year round. I'm not mad at it.
Because it's all about individuals. I get it. It's a whole different thing.
So this fight is, to me, the most important fight in
her career.
Because this Cris Cyborg, you'll see her. It's the first time you're going to see where Amanda Nunes just looks like a normal person. Cyborg is, first of all, jacked, hits harder than I do, and she is legendary. Legend.
I have a question.
And a very nice person.
Do you think that Amanda Nunes, if she would have fought Ronda Rousey before Ronda Rousey fought Holly Holmes, would she have beat her?
Ooh, good question. That's a good question. With Ronda, her lack of experience at a high level of striking was going to catch up to her. I think whether it was Holly or it was Amanda, it was just a matter of time before she met that crossroads, and it was just Holly was the one. unfortunately. Let's take a little break from chatting with my boy Erik Griffin about Amanda Nunes. I'm just trying to help him out, educate him on some of the baddest fighters on the planet. That's all this is. That's all this is, man. And you're probably like, man, Brendan knows his Amanda Nunes. Facts. Yep. But listen, I have a little help from Kratom. The Kratom is what I use for every podcast, stand-up, you name it, your boy's on Kratom. But you can't trust all Kratoms out there. There's only a few brands you can trust. It's the Wild West, like CBD back in the day, all right? Kratom helps you energize your mind. It relaxes your body. It just helps you feel good. You feel like Elon Musk. That's why I take it. But I'm not. I'm the Forrest Gump of Elon Musk, all right? Super Speciosa has only one ingredient. That's pure Kratom leaf, all right? That's all it is. You look at the ingredients, pure Kratom leaf. That's what you want out of your Kratom, all right? For beginners, I recommend capsules because they're easy to use. That's what I take. I also recommend the green strain. That's the most popular for a reason. You get 100% satisfaction guaranteed or your money back, all right? It's fantastic. Try Kratom right now. If you always want to try it out. Get 20% off and go to getsuperleaf.com/Schaub, SCHAUB, and get 20% off with the promo code Schaub, SCHAUB. That's getsuperleaf.com/Schaub and use the promo code Schaub for 20% off. Get you some Kratom. Now let's get back to the program. So hit it, Mike. This fight is nuts. This is my favorite female fight of all. Look at her.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Get some, Erik.
Oof. I can't.
Jacked, bro.
Gee whiz.
Black belt in jiu-jitsu. Notoriously known as the legit Mike Tyson of female fighting. Like, knocks bitches cold.
Oof.
Cold. That back tattoo, son?
Yeah.
But now look at, so she's winging him, right? Now watch Amanda Nunes. She's more precise. She's shooting down the center of the pipe and her speed. And also look at Amanda's mental state. Like most people are, look at this. Bro.
That was the one.
Bro.
That was the one.
Nobody hits Cyborg like this. Nobody.
The defending. Oof, Jesus.
Nobody touches Cyborg like this. Boom.
Oof.
What?
Oof.
What?
Oof. Oof.
And she, before this, was considered the greatest of all time. Boom.
That's it.
Flat out, bro. And it's a speed advantage. So then Amanda Nunes became not only the bantamweight champ, but also the featherweight champ. So the 135 and 145 champ.
Yeah, Dana White's like, I can't get up there. She's
trying
to tell him, you're going to be paying me more money now.
For real. But also for Dana, Cyborg was always, she never got along with Dana White. So her coming to the UFC was like, Dana was like, all right, you want to talk all this shit? Let's see what you got. So I would be willing to bet Dana Inside was like, yes, that's what you get,
Oof,
And then she left the UFC, shortly after this.
Yeah. Well,
there's also no female fighters at 145 pounds. There's just no one for her to fight. But for her to take Cyborg out like that, to me, most important fight of her career. Because to me, it was either her or Amanda. All right, well, they fought. Now, granted, this isn't Cyborg in her ultimate prime, but it's a pretty fucking good Cyborg. But the speed of Amanda Nunes and the technique and the not being loopy and just beating her to the punch and knocking her out like that, nuts.
And
that's why she's so happy.
I was about to say the emotion she's feeling right there. So I have a question. I want to know, so Holly had beaten Ronda Rousey, and she's beaten Ronda Rousey. But what's the context of this fight? How many fights is this in till now she's fighting Holly? Why is this a huge fight?
Yes. Oh, Holly would have fought Ronda in 2015. This is UFC 239. So this is 2017. So this is 2 years later. And to be honest, Holly beats Ronda, and that's kind of the pinnacle of her career. And then she loses 3 in a row to monsters like Shevchenko, Durandamy, tough fights.
Same weight class? Is this
different? No, she was losing those at 35. So then Holly goes, oh, you know what? I'm going to go to 45 and see if I can compete there. And Amanda Nunes goes, well, I'll be your Huckleberry.
Right.
And so this is 2 years later.
So she ended another career, this one?
Yeah, man.
All right.
Hit it, Mike. Yeah, she's just destroying girls. But yeah, when you think about it, Holly pinnacle career, and then for the UFC it must be tough because she knocks Ronda out like that, and then go on a 3-fight losing skid.
Yeah.
UFC's like, God damn it! Not only you beat our champ.
To me, it says more about Ronda Rousey than it says about Holly Holm.
There you go. Yeah, but listen, it's all about styles make fights, and Holly has the perfect style to do what she did against Ronda. And so did Amanda. Yeah, this is at 145. So Holly at 145 is ranked 2. There's only 3 girls though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's about 4 girls in the world. You rank 2, it's like, all right. If you're 4 and your record's 3-19 or some shit, you know?
Yeah.
But then again, for Amanda, again, this is to me this is another, feather in her cap to point that she's the greatest female fighter of all time. Because think how good Holly is at stand up. She's a world class kickboxer.
Right.
Watch it. Amanda goes, cool. You kickboxer? That's cool. And I think too, you look at Amanda Nunes' confidence. If you saw her when she lost that first fight to Pena, she just didn't want to be there, man. And I think success. Having money. She probably got married, kids.
They had a kid. Yeah, I was about to say.
She was like, I'm good, man.
Yeah.
And then, Raquel Pena's just this, hungry, starving fighter, ultimate fighter.
But anybody in this sport could get caught 2 ways, with a good punch or in a submission hold, right?
Easily. There's too many ways to lose at this level, especially in the UFC. So if you talk to any professional gambler, like someone who's like a degenerate professional gambler, they don't bet on UFC. Because there's too many ways to lose.
Yeah.
Basketball, like college football, pro football. Come on, bro. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like if a team turns it on, they're usually generally on. But there's too many ways. You don't know the mental state of the fighter.
Well, she kicked her in the head, man.
Mm-hmm.
What a kick! That was a decent kick.
Yeah, and Holly's known for her footwork, so she's hard to track down, man.
Yeah, I could see that.
But for Holly too, she's newer to MMA, even though she kicked Ronda in the freaking head. Oh my God, when she
nice
commits,
defense,
my
though.
God, yeah, she's a super technical kickboxer. But for Holly Holm also, she lost to Shevchenko, who technically is a better striker. Randomy's also phenomenal striker. So, but they've been doing MMA longer. So for Holly, it was just a lack of experience inside.
I was gonna say, I think that the common denominator here is you have, Ronda Rousey in this, and it just seems as if she really wasn't, what we wanted her to be. And if you take her out of this scenario, and it was just the people that were left, what kind of landscape would have been?
And this is what I think makes Ronda so special is, Dana before Ronda goes, we're never going to have women in the UFC. It's never going to happen. Then Ronda, who's in Strikeforce pulling off all these crazy arm bars, he sees her, he's like, well, there might be something there. So if Ronda wasn't the, must-see TV female fighter that Dana saw, there's no Amanda Nunes. There's no Holly Holm, because they don't have what Ronda had. Like stand-up wise and skill-wise, they're talented. Ronda, pretty girl, talk shit, has that mentality.
So she was the entertainment portion.
Yeah, she checked all boxes.
Sports
it's exactly what this is
sports entertainment. Gotcha.
She was the Hoist Gracie of female fighting. Like, it's easy to look in hindsight now and be like, well, she lost her last 2. It's like, bro.
No, I don't mean that. I just meant that it seemed as if she wasn't the fighter that they thought she was, or maybe she wasn't. She just got outdone. Which one is it?
I think it's a combination of both. I think she was that special, but also you got to realize female fighting is even newer than male fighting. So
right,
it's advancing so fast, and she had a camp around her going, "Oh, you're the best striker ever," when she should have just been grappling in wrestling her entire camp.
Gotcha.
She had such an advantage grappling, but then she got God, she head kicked a head kicker. That's what's nuts, bro. Oh, you head kick Ronda? Say less. I'm the best female fighter of all time at 145. Yakaka.
Wow.
Yakaka.
What was that?
Yakaka.
Please make a T-shirt, whatever that was.
And that's the toes hitting your fucking.
Wow. I was just about to say that she won the fight on a head kick.
How nuts is that?
Yeah.
And that just shows you how,
And
she's the best not only because she beats these girls, but the way she does.
Yeah, because she seems to want to beat people at their own game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sorry that I had to beat you at your own game.
Crazy, right?
Yeah. Look at it. Oh man, I one thing that's hard for me to watch when I watch these things too is like, you really legitimately see the disappointment.
Oh, bro.
That's like some real man. How does that feel? You've lost a few fights.
Yeah, I've won some. I've lost some. But it's like,
how does it feel? Because you've prepared, and then you just.
It's not the worst, dude. But you know what it's like? It's like like the peaks are the highest ever, and the valleys are the lowest. Ever. There's no middle ground. So this is why fighting sucks. So for Holly, right? for you as a comic, it would be like you
bomb at Carnegie Hall or something.
No, let's say you finally get Madison Square Garden, right? And you eat dick, and then everyone sees it, like the entire fan base sees it. All comedy fans see it, and then some like you, some hate you already, so they're like, yeah, and then you can't perform again for another 6 to 8 months. You have to just sit in that filth of being a loser for 6 to 8 months.
It's not like you can go do a quick fight at the Comedy Store fight.
No, it's not like
fight rink. You know what I mean?
It's not like you run over the improv.
15,
let me redeem myself. Fuck y'all. That's the crowd. No.
Woo.
Nuts.
And the thing about UFC that I find fascinating too is that, like, so she kicked her, and the girl was out. You know, and then it was like she went in. That you have to stop the fight at that point, right?
The ref.
And it's funny because even Holly on the ground was like, "Okay, bitch, okay."
And still ain't another.
You know what I mean? She's like, "All right, you got me. I'm done. You won the fight." Oof.
But
tough.
that is just the way they're trained. Like, and it's more on the ref. Like the ref, they just gotta be quicker to it. But it's tough, man.
Oh, that ref was quick. He practically. You can see how that ref could have beat her up.
He's a great one. Oh yeah. Oh, you'll see
the ref just went, okay, you know what I mean?
Oh, bro, you'll see Herb Dean with heavyweights. Like he pushed me over and shit. Like
that dude is tough, man.
Like you're a pedophile from freaking
yeah, dude.
Like those boys that get tackled in what is it with Chris Hansen? You know when the pedophile gets tackled in the grass, catch a predator. That's how Herb Dean tackles the fighters.
Yeah, he put a little extra on pushing her out. I don't know if I'm like, hey, what you
like? Goddamn, bro.
Yeah, like, goddamn,
that's the hardest shit I've got all night. That's it, man. Amanda Nunes, you watched her at her best. You know, beat up Julianne Peña.
So she just has how many losses? One loss?
No, she has a few losses, but that Julianne Peña one. Before that Julianne Peña one, she hadn't had a loss in a hot second. Now here's what's interesting. We can dive into it on another episode, but there's some hype because there's a girl who's at a lower weight class named Valentina Shevchenko, who technically is a better technical fighter. She's more decorated, and they've fought twice already, and Amanda's beat her twice. One was a split decision that some people thought Shevchenko won, but now Shevchenko's now she's like.
So they're gonna fight a third time.
But what do you do it at? Where do you do it at? Because she fights at 125. So do you do it at 30?
Right. They both have to. One comes up, one comes down.
So I think
that's the fairest thing.
I think you do that at catch weight at 130 and make it a BMF title, and then have it, do that. But so that's her, and she is a fucking firecracker, bro. She is fantastic.
Jesus,
yes.
Is that meatball?
No comment, dude. Yeah, she's a savage though. But they can't do it, 35. They can't do it 25. So do a catch weight 30. See who's the best of all time. The only issue there is Amanda's beat her twice.
Yeah,
so it's like, all right,
it's tough. It's tough.
I'll tell you what you're not going to do is a rematch, a trilogy fight with Julianne Peña.
Do they have to fight another one?
No, because they were 10-8 rounds. So it's really UFC. You're like, it's kind of like Matt Serra, GSP, which is the biggest upset of all time. GSP, pound for pound, one of the greatest of all time. Fights Matt Serra from The Ultimate Fighter, short little, meatball Italian dude. He knocks GSP out. They rematch. GSP beats the shit out of him, which should have probably happened in the first case. And the UFC goes, we're good. We don't need a third. Like, we saw what happened. I'm assuming they do have Julianne Peña. Julianne Peña will be your champ because Amanda Nunes only has 1 or 2 fights.
Well, it would be up
She'll be your champ again.
To me, it should be. I think everyone in fighting should take a page out of Jake Paul's book.
Meaning,
be a personality.
It's tough though if that's not in your.
I know, but that you got to make that part of your thing. It's like you sound like a comic, an old school comic like myself, being like, TikTok and Instagram and all that. Now you don't need that. Yeah. What do you need that for? You know what I mean? What a podcast?
But it's a little bit like Mitzi being like, "Why don't you put on a suit and change your name?" Like, I don't want to do that gimmick. That's not me. Like, aren't I good enough to sell tickets with my skill set?
Yeah, no.
Nope. Put a suit on.
Yeah, no, man.
Get the puppet out.
I understand. I'm living that reality. So it's like I totally get why I think that people should. I mean, the guy, it's like we have to remember that this is sports entertainment. There is an
especially
entertainment.
UFC. It's not the NFL, NBA where they don't give a fuck. You're gonna get paid.
No, they do, but but that's
here
still,
they do give a fuck.
But it is sports entertainment there too. Like LeBron James has became a billionaire and he became
Not
a
for his
billionaire.
personality, though.
Dude, I think very much so. It became about his all his off the court stuff, his persona, and all that. You know, Michael Jordan did the same thing, man.
They're also the greatest ever doing.
I know, but what I'm saying
And they
is like
parlay that.
I know, but it's like there are people who are really great, like Tim Duncan, he's greatest power forward ever,
Agree, Mr. Fundamentals.
but he wasn't off the court being like Gatorade and all that kind of stuff.
no
He
one
didn't-
to be like
he just
him.
he just wanted to play. But what I'm saying is to
He
get to
also-
the next
but
level.
he also retired with $400 million in the bank. So that's those sports are different because in the UFC to actually make fuck you money, to your point, you have to have the fans have to like
Right, 'cause then,
merch,
but what I'm saying
Twitch.
is then it would call for a third fight.
There you go.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
she was
saying.
doing that. I get
It would call for a third fight because these people are like in the public eye and they're on their
But
Instagrams
also
and they're
to-
on their thing. I'm
but
just
also
saying, like,
explain
get out
this to
there,
me,
fighters.
But I also think from your perspective, and if I'm wrong, be like, shut the fuck
Uh-huh.
up, dude. I also think you're a little bit like, don't take this wrong, you're a little bit like Tim Duncan, where
Yeah, I know.
you're Mr. Fundamentals.
I
You're
know,
a
but
hold
but-
up, let me finish the compliment. Phenomenal comic, monster. Like when you do Schaub and Friends, I mean, you crush harder than any of us. We have Theo, Cris, monsters. Brian, Jeff Dye, monsters. Gaffigan, you name it. Louis C.K.'s been on there. You crush harder than all of us. But then you're not like Mr. Social Media. You're not Mr. Merch. You're not you're trying to do your thing.
That's what I've recently in the last year been like really trying to focus on that because it's like that is part of the business that is needed. And that's what I'm saying about like for everyone in the industries of entertainment, whatever it is. Comedy is entertainment, sports entertainment.
Yes.
Entertainment. There has to be a level of like you have to get in on these things to reach the people.
Agree. Do you take offense? I called you the Tim Duncan of
No,
comedy?
not at all.
Cool. We're good.
No, offense,
All right.
no, because I get it. It's like you know what I mean. It's like
because you're a monster. And
Yeah.
all the like you ask any NBA player, I'm like Tim Duncan, fuck yeah, you're a monster. You ask the kids, like what?
yeah, they don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Ugh.
All right. Well, Tim Duncan, I'm sorry,
Thanks,
dude.
Schaub.
Sorry, man. Hopefully the show helps you with
You're
that
like
stuff.
Zion. We have to put a weight clause in your contract.
Sorry, man.
See you next time.
See you guys. Thanks for tuning in.